Despite my reservations, I saw Transformers 1 probably like a good few weeks after its initial release because the trailers for this, I don't know about anyone else, but I thought they sucked. It made this movie look terrible, in my opinion. But after seeing the movie, it's in my top 10 favourite movies of the year. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you for sparing your own time out to check out my thoughts on Transformers 1. I haven't looked into who directed this movie. I know a couple of the voice casts through hearing them throughout the movie, and the reason for that is as I'm recording this video, I don't actually have any mobile data. I'm not actually next to any Wi-Fi, so this is just completely off rip. So yeah, as I mentioned in my introduction, I had no intention of seeing this movie, despite a lot of my YouTube peers and good friends saying, you know, this is the best Transformers movie that they've ever put out. This is a great movie. I was like, nah. I'm like, come on. Surely you've got to be fibbing. And they actually weren't. This is a great movie. This is actually, if I'm thinking about all the live action Transformers, and you got Transformers 1. Yeah, Transformers 1 is like up here, and then all the live actions are like way down here. The difference is absolutely astronomical, to the point I was baffled, I was perplexed, and I was also able to just turn my mind off and enjoy the movie. Which, you know, sometimes doing reviews like this on YouTube, you're kind of looking for like negatives or like the positives. Well, not so much looking for negatives, but when something bad happens, you're like, okay, this is a little bit of a disdain. But with Transformers 1, I was able just to relax and just chill and enjoy this movie, and I certainly did. The music is great, the voice cast is really well done, well, for most part, and I think the story overall is very entertaining. It's also a one I have personally wanted to see, because throughout the entire Transformers movies, we always see it's Optimus Prime versus Megatron, right? And if you've seen the trailers, you know exactly what happens. If you know Transformers lore, you know what's bound to happen. But in this one, they actually start out as friends, and I was like, wow, great. I was like, surely it's kind of like a classic age-old story trope where they start out as friends and become enemies, but there's nothing wrong with that, because that's how you build the foundations of a great villain. And I think Transformers 1 explores that in mostly a fantastic way. Honestly, this is like non-stop action. The accompanying music that goes with it is great. It's high volume, it's intensity. The small screen that I in felt like Dolby watching this, so like the sound was blasting through the speakers, and it was just riveting and entertaining to watch. And I didn't think I'd ever say that about a Transformers animation movie, yet a one that with a trailer did not do any favors for this movie. I honestly came out with a big smile on my face, and I've still got one on my face, but I will say this, I hope there's a sequel to this movie, and if there is, I'm going to be there day one. And this has two post-credit scenes. The first one is a little bit goofy and silly, but the second post-credit scene reminded me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, where we're setting up for something big to happen. And I was like, yes, bravo, bravo, please give me more Transformers. And I'm honestly a little bit perplexed about what to kind of say in terms of the remaining positives. So let's go into a few little nitpicks that I had, and then we'll wrap this up with a score. So a few little nitpicks that I have. There's nothing really that major. There is one thing I would have liked. I would have liked this runtime to have been maybe an extra 5-10 minutes. And that is just simply because to give us more of Optimus and Megatron, like D16 Optimus Packs, I would have liked them to have maybe a little bit more time as them as like miners and doing this like manual work to get like the energons and all this kind of stuff. I would have liked a little bit more substance of that personally, just so I could have felt more for the miners into the revelations, what happens and the twists and turns throughout the way. I'm not saying too much more than that. And the only other minor nitpick is probably my biggest one. A lot of people's been praising Keegan-Michael Key for Bumblebee, and I think when he has like smart dialogue and like more serious and clever written dialogue, he does really well, but he does interject a lot of the comedy, which feels very forced. It's unfunny, and at times I was like we've got kind of like the male personality of Aquafina here, and I was just like, It didn't jibe 100%. I don't think it all completely lands. Besides that, guys, that's going to be my wrap up of Transformers 1, which I'm going to give a huge score of 4 out of 5. Have you seen this one? Are you going to check it out? As my review maybe sold you to check this out. Well, as I say, I was thankfully lucky enough to see this on the big screen before it disappeared, and I'm so glad that I did. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you haven't joined my Patreon, you can do so by clicking the link down below in the description box from only £2 per month. Big thanks to all these awesome legends who help to support Patreon. In the meantime, if you haven't seen these videos of mine, well, hey, have a bit of a deep dive. Check those out. Till next time, I'll see you guys. I'll be seeing you later.